These break time videos are sponsored by the Center's Collaborative for Technical Assistance, funded by the National Science Foundation. CCTA was originally purposed to respond to a request from the Department of Labor to the National Science Foundation to have the ATE centers provide technical assistance to tax grantees. And now, with the tax grantees over, we are strictly focusing on helping National Science Foundation grantees and proposal writers. Our deliverables are to provide technical assistance webinars, workshops, and best practice documents. The focus of this particular break time video is on communities of practice, and we're going to talk about a definition as well as show a case study that has been an evolution of a community of practice through the National Center for Convergence Technology. This is Ann Beheeler. I'm the prime principal investigator for this grant, and I'm very happy to share with you what we have found. What is a community of practice? It's a group of people who share a concern, a set of problems, or a passion about a topic, and who deepen their knowledge and expertise by interacting with each other. In other words, it's a group of people that help themselves, and they have a common interest and a common passion. There are similar groups as well. Communities of practice are practitioners, organic, passion, genuine, striving to deepen knowledge and cultivate relationships. Networks are characterized by nodes and linkages and information flows, and simple project teams are driven by deliverables and defined by their roles and tasks of the individuals in it. A community of interest is a group of people that are interested. They're neither experts nor practitioners, they're just interested in a particular topic. It's pretty safe to say, though, that the attitudinal characteristics of a community of practice require passion, dedication, genuine striving for deepening of knowledge and expertise, and most importantly, interactive on a regular basis. Sometimes people call that cultivating. We're going to talk today about a community of practice that developed as an evolution over many years through the National Convergence Technology Center, which is the National Science Foundation Center of Excellence. The community of practice actually evolved for the purpose of solving center problems. And we'll go through the steps about what we did at which point and how the community of practice has become a full community of practice at this point in time. First of all, our first problem was a way to share a curriculum. We needed to share our materials and processes that were developed by the grant. So our first idea was to do curriculum in a box. The idea was we would have the syllabus, the modules, the labs, the classroom slides, and assessments all together, packaged together so that they could be downloaded and colleges could duplicate our curriculum. What we found was that sometimes the colleges did not want to duplicate. They would rather take some of our curriculum and then modify it. So we actually came up with other ways of doing that as well. Potential adopters also wanted to know on the curriculum in the box approach what kind of lab equipment was needed, even down to what brands can you find, how does the curriculum fit within the existing degrees or certificate, or does it? And does convergence, and convergence is basically the convergence of legacy telephony and IP data networking at that time. How does convergence fit into an existing context for an IT degree? And do businesses hire students with this converged education and training? And then how do you bring your faculty up to speed on this new technology? Faculty are often extremely overworked with overload schedules, and they really don't have time for self-education along the way to stay current. So this generated another idea. Colleges need some mentoring. So beyond the free curriculum, we started mentoring the colleges that we worked with to help them create business teams to provide direction for them, to identify what curriculum they needed, and help them source the curriculum to fill the gaps, ensuring instructors are prepared to teach the updated new courses, and that's where our Working Connections came from. That's our annual IT Development Institute. And then, of course, we have to have a strategy for recruiting students, because without students, we're kind of just not very productive. Then our National Visiting Committee. A national center must have a National Visiting Committee. It's a group of educators and industry people that evaluate what's going on in the grant. They gave us a challenge. They wanted us to spread the program beyond our partner colleges in our region and spread it to all the colleges in the region. And actually, the National Visiting Committee at that point was really working with us mostly on a regional level. So we targeted 6 new colleges, and that was our goal, based on the capacity of the grant staff to handle the mentoring. 1 full-time director, 1 part-time program manager, and a part-time PI and 2 part-time co-PIs worked on the grant. That sounds like a lot of individuals, but it wasn't really a lot of time to be able to work with a lot of colleges that needed a lot of help. So we came up with another idea. The program did not need to be replicated. It could be adopted and adapted. And we wanted to spread the adoption beyond one-to-one mentoring to one-to-many mentoring. We did that through conference calls, face-to-face meetings with the entire group. And that's when we really got to a point of really being a community of practice. And you can see this link for more details on communities of practice. We were and are interest-powered. We're in the IT and cyber area. We are production-centered. We want to produce curriculum and produce programs to support our students. We support one another, and that's probably one of the strongest things in the community of practice. The members support each other and answer questions for each other. There is, of course, a shared purpose. It is academically oriented, and it is openly networked. Continuing the growth of the network spurred us to idea number 4. How about evolving the group into an active group of colleges who participate and help grow convergence programs? So we created a mentored college board that had 3 mature college leaders from our network on it, and they helped determine the direction for the program and also started handling some of the mentoring activities. And that helped our staff a great deal. That allowed us to scale quite a bit. Then that generated idea number 5. The college leaders on the mentored college board became hubs in their region in their own right. And what we did at that point was empower the colleges to work with the colleges in their area fairly much on their own, but we still didn't have all of the groups working together. At this point in time, the CTC, the current community of practice in the CTC, is the Convergence College Network. It consists of over 73 institutions. I put the plus there because, in fact, we have new institutions applying 2 or 3 times a month. And since we are funded by the National Science Foundation at this point, and our professional development training is funded, we provide free professional development, some travel reimbursement help, a little bit of help to get the people to be able to come to the face-to-face training. We do provide a lot of resources on our wiki, and that's available to just about anybody. We do provide a way for IT faculty to identify other IT faculty and work with them. And we also provide connections with our national built meeting content so that colleges across the nation can share from the guidance on the national level. We then help the community, the Convergence College Network members, to be able to maximize their own built relationships. We do provide limited virtual lab usage via our NetLab platform, and we provide feedback on grant proposals to those that are in the community of practice. Now, not all of these things can be sustained when the grant goes away, and all good grants must come to an end at some point in time. So the reality is that some of these things will still be available, some will not. However, the CCN members get great benefit out of engaging with themselves, with the group. They do commit to develop a built on their own because we think that is a very important, essential element to being able to have a good program. They do attend their meetings. They do recruit other schools to join the partnership or the community of practice. And they actually submit to the CTC an annual report so that we can keep track of what difference is this community of practice actually making. And in addition, even without the money that the grant provides to provide the professional development for free and some travel money, even without that, the community of practice is mature enough at this point that it provides a very ready network of people for sharing new program information or considerations for whether or not colleges ought to pursue a new program. Curriculum needs are discussed and often filled. Lab setups are shared, and all sorts of how-to information is shared among the group because the group is interested in the same basic area. They're passionate about it, and they're dedicated to learning. So this is a case study. The Convergence College Network is a case study for an active community of practice. Here's some networking face-to-face. It always helps to have people face-to-face. And then here are some other resources. You'll find some resources on the Convergence College Network from the National Convergence Technology Center. There also are webinars on a variety of topics from the Center's Collaborative for Technical Assistance, and please do email me for specifics on location because it's changing. And then for good measure, we threw in a link to the Built Basics webinar if you don't know about a Built and have not implemented one. And then there's a Built Toolkit that gives you very detailed information on all the logistics and all the processes for implementing a Built. Thank you very much.